Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Thursday, February 17th, the final day before the All-Star break, our final show before the All-Star break, and we're going on a break. We won't be back until next Thursday, so you won't see the Pub Hub again until February 24th. Part of me is going to miss you guys. Part of me is going to miss everybody in the chat that tunes in and watches the show. Part of me is going to be happy to have this break because you get a chance to relax a little, less games to have to cap on a daily basis, especially for someone in my spot that has other sports going on right now as well. It's just nice to, get a little 1 week break to hit the reset button and come back strong and ready in a week from now. So after today, we will be back on Thursday, February 24th, a week from today. That will be our first show back from the All-Star break, which is also the first day with NBA games following the All-Star break as well. But before we get to the break, we've still got a Thursday card to break down. We got Derl with us, our Thursday guest, and Wham as well. Dutch is traveling, I believe, today. Couldn't join us on the show, but he'll be back, of course, with us after the break. So looking forward to seeing him after the break for sure. Before we get into today's card, just briefly, because we did have a lot of crazy results last night, some thoughts on those. Wham, I'll start with you. The three teams that stand out are Utah, Golden State, and the New York. They all figured out what it's like to choke last night, and they all did. Brutal losses for all of them. Golden State led most of the game against Denver, coughed it up late. Utah, same thing against the Lakers, coughed it up in the fourth quarter. And then the New York Knicks, that's an all-timer. 28-point lead, can't hang on. And you can tell when a team is losing and they have no confidence. And then when things start to get away from them and that lead was starting to get less and less and less, you could tell the confidence just kept on seeping out of the Knicks the closer that game got. And, of course, they had nothing in the end. The defense caved once again. Brutal loss for them. So three big comebacks / collapses headlining the card last night. And Wham, no doubt the Knicks, the worst of all.
Yeah, man, Knicks definitely. I did take a loss in that game. Had Julius Randle, so it kind of gave me a good spot. That was the best bet for me. Good look there. Mitchell Robinson double-double was bad, though. It's the rotations, man. It seems like Tibbs is just fucking up the rotations. Guys are in and out the lineup. No cohesiveness. You can one game, Quentin Grimes gets 10 threes. The next game, he doesn't shoot at all. What the fuck is going on with that shit? I don't know. But it's like we mentioned earlier last week, Julius Randle's productions continue to be wasted. Now at this point, he's had 30-plus points over an 8-game span, so he's been killing it in that regard. But Aaron Gordon did fail me there as well. And shout out to the guys in the chat there. Star Child said, Wham should have been on the Lakers. My guy Zachariah said, Wham should have been on the Lakers as well. I did hop on my dirty ass sneakingly. So I want to tweet it out so much, man. I really want to tweet it out, but like, nah, I talk too much shit to tweet this shit out right now. But I did take the Lakers plus 7.5. I didn't think they were going to win. I just thought they were going to cover at that 8 game. I think it was like within the fourth quarter. I figured that they were probably going to cover there. But 7.5, man, it was giving me good money, gave me a good look there. But other than that, man, I should have gave out all my leans, bro. Keldon Johnson went back to the well with him. He hit another guy. Forgot who was the other guy, but another player that I had went back to well and hit as well. So, but it's cool though, man. Another day. I'm really excited about the All-Star game, All-Star break. Going to miss you guys as well. I appreciate y'all for being in every day. Dutch, shout out to Dutch. Make sure he has safe travels. We want to get my guy back safe. Yeah. It could be a beautiful thing again.
That's right.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to have Daryl here, bro. So I appreciate you guys.
We need it on the. We need you to come home safe and sound, Dutch, because we got to get you back here right where you need to be. Yeah,
yeah,
right where you need to be. That's right, 100%. Daryl, what did you think of last night?
Well, the obvious we've already talked about. I mean, the Knicks are a complete dumpster fire, man. But what we're not talking about really is what the hell is Portland doing right now? I mean, that's wild what they did to Memphis. They controlled that game, man, with Ja in. So this is going to be a team I'm going to look at pretty heavily in the second half of the season just to see what Chauncey's cooking up over there, man. But what they did to Memphis convincingly was pretty crazy. They played some scrubs when they played New York and LA, but I mean, Memphis is not nowhere near close to a scrub ass team. So It's funny, man. It's funny how they worked it out and they beat Memphis in Memphis with Ja. You know what I'm saying? They even got up for that game. Bang Bang called it. Yeah, man. I called the Lakers yesterday. I was like, yo, it's the box wine talking. You know what I'm saying, bro? But it was just something I was seeing in that game early, dog. So yeah, I low-key stepped on the Lakers money line. I won't go tell nobody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. You gotta be quick.
I won't go tell nobody, bro. But I stepped on the money line, was able to cash. And I know the books probably cleaned up, bro, after AD went out. That live bet. I was just looking at it, right? That line shot from 4.5 to 7.5, just like that. Live bet, bro. As soon as he went out. So yeah. So shout out to what the Blazers are doing, man. Shout out to really what Toronto is doing also. It's just these teams, man, you're gonna see them carry that momentum in the second half. Shout out to the chat as well. Love you all.
Oh, yeah, and it was O'Shea Brissett, that guy that went back to the well. Then Tyrese, come on, we know he was gonna give us a double there. So my apologies again.
No, it's all good. It's a great point about Portland. That Portland is playing pretty. Actually, they're playing better since the trade of McCollum than I thought they would. No question. But that also, at the same point in time, had one of those game before the All-Star break type of performances from Memphis. You know, they've been rolling. They're playing Portland. I mean, they've got their eyes on the All-Star break now. Not their best game. Not a lot of focus, in my opinion, from the Grizzlies. And that's what you're going to look at the Pistons, you know, with the Celtics as well. How about that? Again, Boston's, you know, they crushed Philly. It was a great win. You're playing lowly Detroit. You're on a back-to-back. You got the break coming up. Easy spot to fall into the trap, and they did that against Detroit. You saw a lot of those. Portland with Memphis last night. Lakers come back, beat the Jazz. A lot of those type of games the last night in the association in that. And Toronto didn't avoid the trap. Good job by the Raptors. You're right. And they took advantage of the spot. Great job by Ski like the Raptors. A lot of us did, saying Minnesota was going to, you know, get tired as that game went on. They played in overtime the night before against Charlotte. And they kind of fell flat in the fourth quarter. You could tell they were fatigued. They were starting to wear down. And that's when the Raptors took control of that game. All right, we got 5 games left before the All-Star break here on this Thursday card. Let's start with Miami and Charlotte. We've got Miami 5-point road favorites, 226.5 the total. Now, with the Miami Heat, they're a team that's going to have some prominent players playing this weekend in the All-Star weekend festivities and in the All-Star game. So you have to ask yourself, is the focus there? We saw Memphis fall in this trap last night. We saw Boston fall in this trap last night. Is Miami one of those teams that could fall into the trap? Looking ahead to the All-Star break, my gut feel is they won't fall into that trap. Why? Right. Because they lost to Dallas the other night, 107-99, lost outright as 5.5-point favorites. I believe with them coming off a loss, with a veteran-laden team, you know, with the likes of Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler, among others. Of course, Bam's been around for a while now. Do you want to go into the All-Star break on a 2-game losing streak, or do you want to go into the All-Star break on a victory, especially against a team that you're better than and you should be able to beat? And as far as Charlotte is concerned, you know, they did play a pretty good game for 3.5 quarters against Minnesota, and they suffered the collapse, just like a lot of teams did last night. They couldn't hold on, and they ended up losing 126-120 in overtime. They're not playing any defense, none, zero right now, the Charlotte Hornets. They have allowed teams to shoot 43 of 109, 47 of 96, 48 of 102 from the floor against them. 3 straight overs as well, 119, 125, and 126. I think you're going to see them give up points here as well. I would certainly only be interested in the over from a totals perspective, but I'm going to lay the 5 with Miami. I think they do show up here in this game. I think they want to go into the All-Star break on a win, not on a 2-game losing streak. I don't see signs of them resting anybody outside of maybe Butler. Was questionable, but it looks like he's trending toward being available tonight with the shoulder issue. Eric Spoelstra said he expects him to be on the floor tonight for the Heat. So, you know, other than Hero, who's going to be out tonight, it looks like it's all hands on deck for the Heat. They don't seem to be resting anybody. I like Miami here -5 in this spot. They're 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread as well. The last 3 head-to-head meetings against Charlotte. The victories by 10, 121-111, 114-99, and then 104-86 when these teams played earlier this year. Miami's won by double digits in all 3 recent head-to-head meetings. So I like Miami here -5. Smaller bet for me on the over as well. Wham, what do you think here? Miami, Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree. I agree exactly with you there. And I did a little digging for sure on this game. One of the things that I wanted to take, and I did take the Miami Heat -4.5, but it's so official show pick -5, which is right now available everywhere. The Heat in their division are 8-4. These guys are in the same Southeast division. They're 8-4 ATS. Hornets are 4-7 against the spread so far this season when they play divisional opponents. The Heat over the last 5 games are allowing opponents the fourth lowest, 100.2 points per game, and the fourth lowest, I'm sorry, in points in the paint at 42.4. That's the reason why, and I want to bring up they're holding opponents to fifth lowest assists as well in that span. I want to bring those things up because that's something that's very reliant on this Hornets team. Over the last 5 games, they get the most points in the paint, 6th most at 48.2. The 3rd most field goals from 3 that are assisted. So they're 93.5%. They're the 3rd most. Like 93% of the threes are assisted, and they're holding opponents to 5th lowest assist. So that's going to take a lot of offense away from them, along with them being the 6th most in points in the paint. So most of their points are coming from assisted threes, 93%, and then that other 48% of their points are coming in from in the paint. Pretty much fast breaks, slip cuts, and as far as like pick and roll sets, whatever from there. I like Montrezl Harrell in this game. I would be kind of leaning towards him. I don't want to take the double-double, even though it's really like flashing lights at +400. It's a lot of value there, especially if he becomes one of those guys that makes a shot early. I just don't think that the Heat will play any type of lax defense down low or on the paint, on the perimeter here. So give me the Heat, man. I just think that they're going to play a lot better defense. They're holding opponents to a lower pace, and then this team is just giving it up, bro. Like we mentioned, they're terrible as far as what they're doing offensively, allowing opponents 120 points. So in the last 5 games. So I'm thinking that this is a good smash spot for the Heat, and kind of gave you the reasons there.
Yeah, exactly. They should have some edges inside. You look at 3-point, they shoot a lot of threes, make a lot of threes. Miami's a good 3-point shooting team. Charlotte, 2nd worst 3-point percentage defense in the NBA. So that's definitely a matchup that you think benefits Miami. And by the way, Charlotte 0-4 ATS, their last 4 games as a home underdog. So what does that tell you? When they're at home, even at the house, they're playing good teams. They're not finding a way. Simple as that. And that's what that stat tells you as well. Derl, Heat against Hornets.
Yeah, I like what Wham. I like what I'm picking up what he's putting down. I do like those stats that he's given. This is something that will kind of even add even more essence to that. And looking at the opponent's points allowed per first half, Charlotte is 2nd to last, allowing 60 points per half, 2nd to last, right? So you got a team that's allowing the most points just about. In Miami, they're ranked 5th. So they're up there. They're allowing right around 53, 54. And so if you've got Miami who's scoring on average 59, they're not going to allow that many points to be scored. So this definitely looks like a first half play. I liked that and leaned it earlier. I think I'm going to step on Miami first half. And if they get things done first half, you better believe that they're going to get things done the full game. As far as Miami themselves, I think they do want to get up here. You don't want to go a game down from Chicago. If Chicago would have lost yesterday, maybe you're not motivated that much, right? But you don't want to be in the L column. So I do like Miami first half here. I do believe they can get it done the whole game. So yeah, Miami first half.
All right. Next up, we've got Washington and Brooklyn. Brooklyn Nets 4.5-point home favorites, 215 the total. Nobody's anticipating a letdown here for Brooklyn because Brooklyn's taking money here, up from 3 to 4.5 in this game. This is a tricky spot to be laying points though with Brooklyn, and I know Brooklyn's now won 2 in a row. After a long, lengthy losing streak. And look, all the quotes coming out of Brooklyn, Bruce Brown, and all these players, they're all harmony, tranquility.
Yeah.
We love each other. We're getting along. We're coming together as a team. There's no noise outside anymore. A little parting shot at James Harden, if you ask me, with that. But no, definitely this team is playing for one another right now. And you have to play for one another if you find it in you to come back from 28 down and win the game last night against the New York Knicks like they did. So there's something about the Nets right now. The spirit is back. The effort is back.
Yeah.
Their defense still comes and goes, but boy, it clamped down when they had to. I mean, in the fourth quarter, the Knicks went to sleep offensively, and you have to give Brooklyn credit for that. They only gave up 19 points in the fourth quarter. to the New York Knicks. Brooklyn's defense was terrific. It's what allowed them to pull off that stunning comeback, down 28 to beat the Knicks 111-106. They beat Sacramento handily before that. So they look to me like one of those a bet on team right now with just the quotes I'm reading and all that. But I don't know if I want to lay 4.5 in this spot, right? They're off the big comeback last night against the Knicks, and that's a rivalry. Is there still going to be enough gas left in the tank? Another thing too with the recent trades is it's a little bit of a thinner rotation for Steve Nash right now. He's really been playing Mills, Curry, Brown, and Drummond a lot. Those kind of guys. What do they have left in the tank? Second of back-to-back games, and with the break coming up, maybe this is a mail-it-in situation. I worry about that a little for Brooklyn tonight, but. At the same point in time, am I taking Washington? Hell no, that's not happening. They lost to Indiana 113-108 last night. It's been a bad run for them. They actually beat Brooklyn 113-112. One of their few wins in their last few weeks was against Brooklyn, and they beat them near the buzzer. Actually, it was down to the wire, but Brooklyn got a basket to make it a 1-point loss late in the game. So it's actually a revenge spot here for Brooklyn. But I just don't think I like it enough to lay points with them. The one thing about Brooklyn is we were catching points with them last night. We were catching points with them as underdogs against Sacramento before that. They were 2-point dogs. Now you got to lay points with this team. It's a totally different situation altogether. So it's a backwood for me. I'm going to pass on this one, Washington and Brooklyn. A tough one to gauge. I'd lean Brooklyn if I had to, but I don't like the spot. Derl, what do you think here, Wizards and Nets?
Yeah, man. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of like the Wizards. I don't think the Nets are there. Then you got goddamn Marion just going all gas on the Nets. You know what I'm saying? So no, man. Listen, I don't want no smoke in this game. I don't give a shit about this fucking game at all.
I heard you.
I love it. That's the I don't give a shit about this game is one of our that's the one thing we've not come to expect from Derl on the show. The several appearances from him and many more. He's gonna be with us every Thursday moving forward. But yeah, I don't give a shit about a game. This is definitely one of those. I feel that way too. It's tough.
For real, man.
I'm gonna take my Brooklyn money and just keep it in my pocket from last night. I think that's probably the best decision to make. Wham, what do you think here?
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of that with Cam Thomas, man. Cam Thomas is the reason for the seasoning, I guess, for this line to be at 5. It's just what the hell, right? Like, these guys are not good so far as a home favorite anyway. They're 4-17 for the season, 4-17-1, I may say. And off of back-to-back, they're 1-7 ATS, 1-7-1, I'm sorry. So they're not good off of back-to-back either. I mean, it just screams a Wizard spot to me. So I will only take the money line, honestly, in this spot. But like you said, the Omarion, Omicron on Jimmy's show came out, and he's on a 3-0 heater right now. So it could be, small sample size, and he get his ass bit today. But and he was on Brooklyn, so it may be a little bit high off of that. He's still a human being, y'all. That's not the actual virus. Y'all know that human emotions right there going back.
Yeah, man.
I don't think any edge here that's really going to stand out other than Andre Drummond over 12.5 rebounds. Obviously, we've seen him have 19 rebounds against the last game. I expect him to do this again over his last 5 games against the Wizards. I mean, obviously, they may have Daniel Gafford back, so it may help them have a big body out there. But he's averaged 14.6 rebounds over his last 5 games against the Wizards. And I think with this uptick, he may be able to get to the 20 rebound type of milestone in this game. So I would probably just ladder up the Drummond rebound and just kick my feet up here. But that's the only way I'm thinking here.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, speaking of props, since Wham brought up props, there's props I wanted to mention for the Miami game earlier. Hammer some of these Heat 3-point props. Anybody that can shoot a 3 for the Miami Heat and you can trust them to make them. Yeah. Because Charlotte's terrible with their perimeter defense. So, that speaks to Hero's not going to play. He would have been a great candidate, but Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry might even hit some threes tonight. Jimmy's not a big 3-point shooter, but even he could get in on the act. There's a lot of different players that could end up making some long distance shots because it's a horrible perimeter defense for the Charlotte Hornets tonight as they go up against the Strus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've corrected ourselves. It's Max Strus, not Struss. We got to get the names. I'm a stickler for that. If I butcher someone's name, I don't sleep at night very well.
It rubbed off on me. I don't even say their names anymore. I just say the number now.
Yeah. Number 27, like the referee should have done with OG Anunoby 2 months ago. He said, foul on a newbie. Just said number 27. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Dallas and New Orleans. Mavericks, 2.5-point road favorites, 216.5 the total in this one. Mavericks, nice win against Miami. We were talking about the Heat, of course, losing to the Mavericks. Mavericks beating the Miami Heat last time out. So we'll see if they can keep it going and win a second straight going into the All-Star break here against New Orleans. Pelicans routed the Raptors, but could not withstand prosperity, could not sustain it, could not carry it over to the next game against Memphis. They lost 121-109 to the Grizzlies a couple of nights ago. As far as the personnel going into this game, we've got Dallas with Bullock, a game-time decision for them, questionable with a hip injury. Other than that, though, it looks like the same guys that have been out for a while. Like they've been without Hardaway, they've been without Trey Burke for a while, but they're still out or game-time decisions. They will have Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Finney Smith, and Dwight Powell will play in this one for the Dallas Mavericks. It's a bit of a tricky spot necessarily. I mean, it's not a given for sure that the Mavericks are going to roll in here and win this game. You've seen the Pelicans rise up at times going into this one, but it's a short number here on the Mavs. I'd still lean to Dallas, lean to the under. I have not pulled the trigger on either one, but I would lean in both ways here in terms of the side and total, with Dallas minus 2.5 and the under here at about around 216.5 in this one. Wham, what do you think here? Dallas, New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I haven't pulled any action on this game, but I am leaning in a direction. It is towards a prop. You know, my guy CJ McCollum, I did take him to put 2 units as well on him to win a 3-point contest just today. And I think he could do it again today. I think he could get over the 2.5 3-point makes, even though this is a tough 3-point defense. I mean, number 1 in allowed attempts, 25, 6.6 in 3-point makes that they're allowing to opponents, 26% from the field. I mean, Dallas has just been playing some really, really good defense over the last few games. And also, you know, number 1 in points allowed as well in that span, just a slightly bit better than our Boston Celtics, who's been playing lights out as well at 96.6. So it is kind of tough to go against this guy, but as a Pelicano, he is averaging 7.3 3-point attempts, over 2.5. You know, you just want him to hit over like 40-50%, and he'll be able to go over this. So I believe that he should be able to get over this. It's, again, something that I'm not taking a big stab on. I haven't bet this officially yet, but I am thinking that is the route to go. Over 2.5 3-point makes for CJ McCollum, and maybe possibly his points. He is averaging 26 points or within that 4 games that he's been the Pelican. So that's the way I'm thinking here. Anything else, I kind of would agree with the chat. I think there may be a good spot for Dallas here. They have been a better team as of late, but something interesting about this Pelican team now that I see how they've kind of been constructed. So I haven't been really that itching to fade them, really. So that's the only way I'm going here. Shout out to my guy Noli Knows. He said I got a little bilingual in me. But, you know, it's only right. It's only right. It's only right.
Yeah, you know how difficult it is to hold a team to below 100 points in the modern NBA? It's very difficult these days with the shot clock changes, the 3-point line, obviously the emphasis now. The team's got to be able to shoot 3-pointers now in today's NBA. Teams play a lot faster pace-wise. Many of them do. It's not easy to hold a team below 100 points these days. Dallas has done it in 5 of the last 6 games. They've held teams below 100 points. So you got to give Jason Kidd, the coaching staff, and that team from top to bottom serious credit for getting this to be a solid defensive team. They've definitely been that way. That's why I lean to the under here in this game. Derl, what do you think? Dallas, New Orleans.
Yeah, I saw the glorious comment. I don't give a fucking shit about this game, but I for what it's worth, I'll give you my thoughts on it. I think this line is tricky. By all means, this line is tricky. Equal rest there. Dallas is obviously the better team. They're missing some players, right? But the line was 3 and it's gone down to 2.5. Maybe the books are just saying, yo, take Dallas, and you watch a cover by New Orleans. Don't be surprised if New Orleans wins, or loses by a point, right? Loses by where you lose to the hook. There's something tricky about this game. I don't like this line. I think the line should be higher considering how well coached Dallas has been. I don't care that they're missing players. This one here, in my opinion, is a no play for me. It's a prop game, so take Wham's advice here. But if I had to take a side, it's definitely New Orleans. This is a New Orleans side, if you ask me. So I do lean New Orleans here. I know that's going against Ron, Ron's got this as a spreadsheet play of the day, but this line is tricky. It's short for a reason, and they're telling you, yo, take Dallas while this line is short and watch the books take your money.
Yep, and remember, New Orleans shocked everybody as a home underdog earlier this week against the Toronto Raptors, and it was JV owning the low post, and it was a tough time for the Raptors matching up with him. Might be that way for the Mavericks tonight because Dwight Powell does his best that he can, but I think JV is probably going to have some advantages there. So this could be a PRA night for Jonas Valanciunas, over points, rebounds, and assists. Double for sure is a good bet, but the problem is the value. It's minus 175 on that with a lot of books. So you're not getting a great price on the JV double, but obviously a good chance it hits tonight against Dallas. All right, Philadelphia, Milwaukee. We got the Bucks, 6.5-point home favorites here, 223 the total in this one. The Philadelphia 76ers, and the media is relentless. They're a bunch of sharks. That Philadelphia media. It doesn't matter who the team is, though. The Sixers, the Eagles, the Flyers. When your team has a bad loss or is not playing well, the media is going to come after the players and come after the coaches. They're not going to. They're going to shoot from the hip, and they were really rough on Doc Rivers after that game against Boston, where it was just one of the worst losses you'll ever see the Sixers have, especially with a team that's got a pretty good roster, all things considered, and they get absolutely just hammered, just blown off the floor, 135-87 by the Boston Celtics a couple of nights ago. I mean, I gotta think the Sixers show something here. I mean, it's off one of the absolute most embarrassing games you've ever had. You would think they bounce back here, at least strong, compete, save some face, show some pride, because no professional team should like losing like that. It looks like for the Sixers tonight, it's Embiid, Harris, Thibault, Green, and Maxey going to be your starting five once again. As far as the Bucks go, they're still without a couple of key supporting cast members. You've got Wesley Matthews, a game-time decision. Grayson Allen, a game-time decision. DeAndre Bembry's out. Of course, Pat Connaughton is going to be out for a long period of time, and they're really going to miss him. Yeah, I want to back Philly here, especially with them getting points here. I mean, you got to think here in this spot that they play their ass off here, essentially, coming off that kind of loss. And when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers here, I'm trying to see if I can find some. Yeah, they're 10-2 ATS, their last 12 off an ATS loss. So there you go, 5-0 ATS, last 5 games as a road underdog. So there are definitely some things that line up here for the Philadelphia. I'm going to take them. I'm going to make it official here. Plus 6.5. I've been sitting on the fence all day with Philly here, but it's a shit or get off the pot type of deal. And I'm gonna take them here. Philadelphia plus 6.5. Milwaukee, yeah, they beat Indiana, big whoop in their last game. Pacers are horrendous, and they only won that game by 9 points. They were laying 14. They didn't cover. They're on 0-3 ATS slide. The Milwaukee Bucks in their last 3 games. So, this is one of those games where you got to think Philly's got to show you something because of just how embarrassing it was the other night to see them lose to the Boston Celtics like that. So I'm going to be on Philly plus the points. I'd lean over the total too, because you look at it, the Bucks have scored at least 128 for the last 6 games, and you'd think the Sixers will show up much better offensively after just 87 in that game against Boston. And there's some trends that also point to Philadelphia when they've been held to less than 100 points. The over's been very strong in their next game. So I'll go over the total as well, 223 in this one. Wham, what do you think here, Sixers and Bucks?
Yeah, man, you look back at that game, them guys just shot the lights out. Maybe it was fucking James Harden jacket. Maybe it was just these guys just had a great hot shooting streak. I mean, they shot 55% from 3 for the game, 25 made 3-point makes. That's a fucking lot of points, bro, just within that span. So that could be, looked at as, bad defense here, but I think they do bounce back. I would agree with you. If I'm leaning anything towards Milwaukee, got to be first half, get in and get out. But as far as full game wise, I think it is a Philly spot. This is a game that is tough for me though, because you don't know where the motivation really is. This is the last game, Philly being badly coached. It's something that they're gonna have to get used to for them to, finally blow up on Doc. I mean, you guys had a scapegoat in Ben Simmons. Doc been the problem, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's gotta been the problem, y'all. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I will say this. I think that Philadelphia does bounce back here. They didn't allow that much points in the paint. As far as what for how they're going to score Milwaukee, I expect it to be more so like about these guys scoring outside rather than inside. So if you keep Giannis out the paint, build the wall, maybe it's a little bit helpful in that regard, and you just don't allow these guys to shoot 55% from three, you may be able to get yourself a cover here. So I agree with you, Babano. I don't think it is warranted here. These are two juggernauts in the East, even though they got their ass smacked up, which I am very happy about because I am holding a Celtics Atlantic Division. I am happy about that, but I think they do bounce back here. And I honestly was leaning 76ers in that game. I didn't expect them to just blow out the windows, you know what I'm saying, allow them to shoot that like that. But I agree with you, Bavano. I think the 6.5 is a little too many points here. They should be able to stick around.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, this is it's important to point this out. Maybe it's because it's the last night before the All-Star break. This is the only TNT game tonight. Usually it's always a doubleheader on a Thursday night on TNT. This is the only TNT game tonight, this one with the Sixers and Bucks. All right, Derl, what do you like in this game?
Yeah, since this trade, man, you can't really put all your confidence on Philly until James gets there, right? They lost a lot of people. They lost their shooter, right? And so I honestly feel that I can't back them as good as they may be, and probably, having Embiid with the tear that he's on, really get behind them until you get Harden in the mix here. So I stepped on a play already earlier, and that was Milwaukee Bucks first quarter because of the trends that you're seeing happening now. They're neck and neck as far as first quarter points, right? They're in the top of the league, 6th and 7th. But in this last three, you've seen a substantial change. You've seen Milwaukee right now putting up almost 30 in the first quarter, and you've seen Philadelphia put up 26. So they're going down, and Milwaukee's going up here. I think the 2.5 is sharp. I personally think that Milwaukee's a little motivated to play this game because they want to stay in that third spot, right? Because if they lose tonight, there's actually a swap from 3rd to 5th, right? Because Cleveland's already played, and they're already set in their 4th spot. So just looking at this game and motivation, I think it's there. However, there is the embarrassment factor and all of those things that's happening now with Philly. Embiid's going to be contained by Giannis, hands down. So who else is Philly going to have to play, and who else is Philly going to guard? With what the players that Milwaukee's has. So personally, I think Milwaukee can get up for this game. I didn't step on the full game, though, because you never know what's going to happen. But I do like Milwaukee first quarter. I stepped on it. They are 7-3 in their last 10 in first quarter ATS. I think it's a good look. Milwaukee first quarter -2.5.
All right, there we go. Milwaukee first quarter for Derl, -2.5 here against the Philadelphia 76ers. It should be interesting to see what the Sixers have in them. You're right. It's always that final game, too, before the break. And part of me also thinks they're just waiting for Harden to get here and Harden to finally play. And, of course, we won't see Harden until after the All-Star break. All right, final game of this Thursday night card, and the final game we will break down on this show before the All-Star break. Here it is, Houston Rockets, LA Clippers. Clippers 11-point home favorites, 227.5 the total in this one. You look at the LA Clippers, I got to say the last few games from them, it's been a little bit better. They beat Dallas. They beat Golden State. They hung tough with Phoenix, only lost by 7, 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 games. But here's the problem now. We know the Clippers have stepped up in the underdog role. They've beaten Dallas and Golden State, couple of good wins, hung tough with the excellent Phoenix Suns team. But now they're laying points. And I remember laying points with them against the Lakers. They won that game by a single point. We're lucky to win it. They were laying a point at Indiana. They lost the game outright. I am not ready to lay. I know it's Houston on the other side. I get it. But I am not ready to lay 11 points with the LA Clippers here. I'm just not ready to do it here in this game. Of course, they've still had pretty much the same group the last several games. I mean, Norman Powell's been out for a while. Paul George, we haven't seen him in over a month. It's been basically Reggie Jackson. It's been Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, and Zubats for several games in a row. So at least this starting five is gaining some chemistry, and some cohesion because they're playing with one another on the starting five game in and game out. So we'll see if that can lead to success here. For the Rockets, this is a tough spot. I mean, they gutted it out against, I think, a disinterested, to be honest with you, Phoenix Suns team. I don't want to give Houston too much credit for, losing by 3. I think a lot of that was Phoenix was sleepwalking and they were like zombies for most of that game, if you ask me. I mean, when do you see the Suns defense play that bad? And when do you see the Suns especially give up that many points and over 50% shooting to a team like the Houston Rockets? Like I said, I think they had their minds and brains and feet and legs and arms and everything. Their whole body was on all-star break mode already, essentially Phoenix. So I don't want to give the Rockets too much credit for that. I think this game could go over the total. I could see a loose atmosphere. Houston's trended over in 3 straight. I know the Clippers have kind of been a team that can drag the pace down and kind of stay under, and they do play defense at times, but Houston doesn't play any. And I think they'll get the pace to their liking. And actually, the Clippers did go on a pretty solid 5-game over streak earlier this month. And then the 2 unders, one was against Dallas, a great defensive team, and the other was against Phoenix, who, when they lock it down, and they were way more interested in the Clipper game than the Rockets game. So they played defense in that game. So I think because of that, you can look at the over here, 227.5 in this one. That would be the bet I'd be considering in this one, is over the total. Wham, what do you think here? Houston, LA Clippers.
Yeah, man, that's the way I'm looking too. It's just defense, man. Where's the defense going to be for Houston? They're not going to give a damn. They allow opponents to do whatever they please. Just getting it off on them, man. It's just, as far as giving it up, they're allowing to give it up over the last 3 games. 132 points to opponents, bro. Come on, man. Y'all got to do better than that. Well, it is the last day of the All-Star break. I expect nobody to be playing no defense in this game at all as well. So I would lean towards the Clippers team total over, full game over in this game. The only problem is, and the reason why I haven't bet this yet, and I'm waiting to see how the Heat game look, to be honest with you guys, it's because of 120, man. 120 points for the Clippers. They don't really have to do that to win this game. They've been holding opponents to 101 points over the last 3 games, and they're playing pretty good competition, like we mentioned, and they're only scoring 104. So their average win margin is 3.3. And this other team, their average losing margin, because we can't call it a win margin, is minus 18.7. So they can get off on them, man, like I mentioned. But it's just tough for me to put 120 on the Clippers, even though I do believe that they will have it. So I'm looking at the guys who possibly is going to produce the points here. I like my guy Amir Coffee. You guys know I've been drinking espresso all year long here. So I'm looking to see if he's available. It's not available in offshore or FanDuel or any of markets, so I haven't seen that. So Marcus Morris, who's been on a heater, I think it's at 18.5. That's a good look. I know my guy Ski liked that look earlier today. And then I think Nicholas Batum as well, man. It's 9.5 points to 11.5. I believe it's a pretty much different market out there for him. I would look towards him as well. So those are the guys I'm looking for. I think the over may be a good spot for sure. You're not going to have KPJ. So if we get Christian Wood in the lineup, I think I may be able to fire on the full game over, just because I don't think the defense is going to be there. So I agree with you, though, Babano. But I'm going to sit and wait and see how the Heat does, because that's obviously going to be the best bet for me. It's the only bet that I locked in. So that's what I'm rocking with.
Hey, did you guys see this comment?
Well, it's the big show.
Alfonso Scott said this is at Eli Apple backwood.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, Eli Apple getting killed.
Shout out to his mama. Shout out to his mama, though.
Yeah, good stuff. So lean over the total for Wham in this one. It's just, this is a low total for a Rockets game, because, they've seen 259, 236, and 245 total points in the last 3 Houston Rockets games, and yet this total is only 227.5. But Wham also says maybe look at some Amir Coffee props. I'm going to date myself. There's this old song from the 60s, Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs, Sugar Shack. Well, it's just a coffee house. It's made out of wood. Espresso coffee tastes mighty good. And that's what it's been for Wham. It's been Amir Coffee props, drinking that coffee, tasting mighty good. You've been on those props quite a bit for sure. So there you go. If you want to search it on YouTube, there you go. Jimmy Gilmer, Sugar Shack. You'll get the song that I was singing there. Derl, what do you think here? Rockets and Clippers.
Yeah, man. There's just some things that you don't do. You definitely don't take Clippers on a large number. And I'll be honest with you, I did. I don't give a fuck here, man. I think the Clippers just go smack the shit out of Houston. So I did take Clippers minus 11. I really did, man. It's probably going to bite me in the ass, but just not even having to look at a whole bunch of data, really. I just think this is one of these games, honestly, where the Clippers could get up for it. They are rested. They can still win, essentially, here, and just ease closer to where they're trying to get to. Their standings right now, if I'm looking at them, they're not completely out of it. They're in 8th. You know, they're an 8. They're creeping up on the Timberwolves. So you don't want to get another game down and swap with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So this is a game to where they can handle the Rockets easily. It's just a gut feeling here. Really gut feeling here, man. I just think that the Clippers going to beat these boys by like 20. You know,
right.
Now Houston's checked out. But Ty Lue does have good schemes and actions that he can get these boys prepared and ready for. He is actually a good coach, man. Well, and what he's coaching with what he's got, you know. So I do like the Clippers here. I did step on it. You can see that line has not gone down. You know what I'm saying? So there's not any big money coming toward this spread at all on the Rocket side. So yeah, I took the Clippers. I fuck it. It's one of those like, fuck it, man. I like the Clippers here. I think they're going to get it done. No data analysis here, but I do like the Clippers full game. I took them.
I hear where you're coming from. I mean, even though I'm hesitant to lay 11, you know, there's reasons to do it tonight. You look at Houston, they gutted it out against Phoenix, you know, down to the wire. They thought maybe we're going to upset the defending Western Conference champions, NBA finalists from a year ago. And they fell just short. Now they got to turn around on a back-to-back, right, and go to LA. Tough spot. And let's not forget, before the Phoenix lost by 3 last night, Houston's last 5 losses before that. 34-point loss at Utah, 19-point loss against Toronto, 13-point loss at New Orleans, 13-point loss at home against New Orleans, and 25-point loss at San Antonio. So they've been blown off the court in every game that they've lost before last night against Phoenix. So this is a potential maybe for Houston to get railroaded in this game. We'll see how it goes. All right, before we wrap up and go to best bets and wrap things up, some All-Star thoughts. And it's early. We've still got a few days on any of the events. The All-Star game line right now, I'll give you what that is right now. Team Durant versus Team LeBron. Right now, it's a -5.5 on Team LeBron, favored 320.5 the total in this game. I will tell you right now, I have not put a second into handicapping anything for All-Star weekend, so I'm not going to give you anything other than I wouldn't bet an under in the All-Star game.
That's right.
I don't know if 320, and I think they've probably made an adjustment when it comes to the totals for All-Star game, because 320.5 seems like a shit ton of points. You know, it seems like they've really adjusted that up, but I still don't know if I'd want to take the under in that game. As far as the events, we'll have to wait and see. Slam dunk competition, like you have no clue what these guys are preparing or practicing, you know, behind the scenes for the slam dunk competition. That's hard to bet that. 3-point competition, they're all capable of winning it. My only advice is if you're going to bet the 3-point competition where they have the bucket of balls and they go around the arc there, you know, corner 3, you know, right angle 3, straightaway 3, left angle 3, left corner 3. That's the way they do it with that event. If you're going to bet that, look for a long shot. You know, look for a 6-1. Look for a 10-1. Don't just automatically bet, you know, the favorites in that event, because I think it's a crapshoot. Anybody can just get red hot shooting from beyond the arc in that 3-point competition on All-Star Saturday night. And I think that's why if you bet that event, maybe look for some longer shots. Wham, just any thoughts, recommendations, anything for All-Star weekend?
Yeah, man. You know what's funny is I have more action on the 3-point prop, probably more than I made in any NBA day this week here. So it's just crazy, and I have 5 units in that right there just alone. I'm sorry, 4 units in that game, but I have 5 in it for the whole All-Star break. So first one, I'll just let you guys know, I would agree with Babano as far as taking taken outside the favorites and some of the skill competition, which is only 3 contestants. It's a team based there, so it's a new thing there. I'm not touching that shit. But as far as 3-point competition, I did take underdogs, like you was mentioning. But as far as the slam dunk competition, I took the favorite here. I think it's a consolation prize for Jalen Green. He's not going to get Rookie of the Year. He probably has the more bounce out of the 2 smaller guards and Cole Anthony. I think I have more idea that he's going to give us a better dunk show than Cole Anthony. And out of the 2 big men, which I believe Obi Toppin should be the favorite out of the big men that's involved here, I think Obi Toppin is going to be in the finals with Jalen Green. So out of those 2, I'm just guessing. Obviously, this is nothing out of the, you know, handicap or anything, but who do I would rather see win, who I think is going to win, who do I think a lot of the more people are going to like. I think Jalen Green's kind of already shown he's a popular guy. He's going to try to be one of those guys involved in this event here long term. So I think dunk contest for him is probably consolation prize for him. You know, he didn't get Rookie of the Year. And as far as the handicapping that I did look at my guy, Desmond Bane. put a unit on him to win the 3-point competition at 6-1. Like you mentioned, you want to take a big shot on him, so it's plus 600 on Bovada. I did take the favorite, in my opinion, my sort of a favorite. So I took 3 contestants here because if I just hit one of them, which is a 2-unit one, which is CJ McCollum, that's up 13 units, I'm really looking for him to hit it. It's in his hometown out there in Ohio. I think he has a good chance of doing it. Only thing he's involved in is the 3-point competition this weekend. So I think he's going to be focused there, laser focused. So his at plus 650 is what I did drop 2 on. And the favorite there that I was mentioning, plus 500 that I like, Luke Kennard. I think he's going to be one of the higher shooting guys, and he can find himself a good rhythm there. So I don't knock you for taking any of the other people there, but I just don't think that Patty Mills is going to be at the streak that he wants to. That motherfucker been doing a lot since Kyrie been out of the lineup. He might be tired, you know what I'm saying? And the other guys, I just feel like they got a good shot. So CJ McCollum is my best bet for that event for sure for the whole weekend. But other than that, I do like the other 3 here: Jalen Green, Desmond Bane, and Kennard. So that's how I'm rocking with, man. And it's a crapshoot, but we've been successful the last 3 years in this shit. So, and we've been tweeting it out. So hopefully keep it on, man. Keep going on All-Star break.
I love it. Wham's come prepared. He's done his homework here for All-Star Weekend. Great analysis with them too. You're right about the Luke Kennard bet for the 3-point competition. You're right. You don't want necessarily. It makes sense. Do you want to be betting the players that are, they running 3-point shooters or off balance 3-point shooters or kind of acrobatic, wild they are with their 3-point shooting? Or do you want those guys that are the rhythm 3-point shooters that get their feet set, get those puppies organized, as Bill Raftery would say? Those are the guys you want, maybe in a competition like that. And maybe that's Luke Kennard, because you're right. He's a rhythm shooter. He gets the stroke going. He gets in his form. And that's when he goes on that red hot tear, maybe set up for success potentially in that 3-point competition. That's a good angle on Green too in the slam dunk, no doubt. Maybe this is his consolation prize, if you will, for maybe not being in the Rookie of the Year running anymore, for sure. Derl, I think this might be a I don't give a fuck about it situation for you with the All-Star bets. What do you think?
You know it, man. You know it. Listen, I had seen a comment that I think it was Keith said, bruh, I am not playing a single fucking game until next week, Doug. I don't have any bets after this degenerate bet of Clippers minus 11. Don't think I'm going to play any fucking thing at all, man. I am taking this week. My brain hurt, bro. My brain hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I know come Tuesday, I'm going to have to just start looking at just how the first season of the first half of the season has gone for some of these teams, and just try to get a gauge of where they're going to be second half, right? But I'm not playing a single goddamn play, man, at all until next week, dog, for real. Yep. It's just so, hey, y'all better than me. Wham, you better than me, bro. I just can't do it. I need a break.
I could be the dummy and just throw out 5 units like I don't give a fuck, but it's all love. It's all love. It's all love. But yeah, man. Shout out to Big Show, man. We only got 55 likes for the Mando, man. That is this motherfucking spectful. Y'all see I'm doing all this damn daily shit with the All-Star break stuff.
Let's go. Hit the like button, everybody. Come on. 262 live viewers. He's right. Yeah. Hit that like button.
We need Dutch here. We need Dutch here. Hey, Elliot, I'm just being real, man. Keeping it R-rated for real rated, bro. I'm not making any plays at all. I just can't. I can't, man. My brain hurts from here to infinity. I'm happy to not look at no damn injury reports, no late time scratches, none of that, man. Just, hey, let me just have my peace for about 5 days. You know what I'm saying? And then we can get back in action.
Yeah, and most people know, too, how much in a basketball I love, football I love. I may not see baseball, but I get into betting baseball, too. Well, that's another story, the clowns in that sport right now. But nevertheless, and everybody knows I love hockey and bet hockey religiously. And even I didn't bet the All-Star shit for hockey, and people are DMing me, what do you like in the All-Star game? It's like, take a break, guy. Just take a break, have a little, calm down, spend some time with the families, go out with some friends or something.
Go outside, man.
Find some plus money to root on, boys. If you're going to do it, find some plus money to root on and have fun.
Yeah.
Crystal has been cutting up the entire show, man.
Hey, if you do your work, like Wham. Wham's done a little research and effort into it, so give him credit for that. And I wish
don't be like me though. Yeah, don't be like me though.
Yeah. No, I wish you luck, Wham. You gave good reasoning. You've got sound logic.
Mm-hmm.
Win or lose, you brought sound reasoning and logic to why you liked what you liked. with those bets for All-Star Weekend. Hopefully, we give you sound reasoning and logic with what we like for best bets, final best bets before the All-Star break coming up. Man, I think the music with that ad is a hit. My goodness, that was pretty damn impressive. Wow, and I think the chat agrees with that.
I like that one.
That was very good.
Wait, was that Shakira? Was that Shakira? That sounded like some damn Shakira.
Shakira, like Wyclef from back in the day. Shakira. Yeah. Wait till I get down there next month in San Antonio for some karaoke. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase, Lawnmower 4.0, or any Manscaped product. Get 20% off with promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, NBA on All-Star break, but still, you can bet the All-Star game, All-Star weekend. It'll be back next Thursday. College basketball, NHL, UFC, lots going on. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. So make sure you check that out for sure as well. All right, we got best bets coming up to wrap it up. Final show before the All-Star break here with the NBA Pub Hub. Wham, we'll start with you. What do you like for best bet?
Yeah, man, it's the only bet I made for today's card. So we're going to go to Miami. We're actually going to be in Charlotte, but we're going to take the -5 for the Miami Heat. Again, these guys are holding opponents to the fourth lowest points in the paint and the fourth lowest points per game over the last 5 games. So I expect them, the defense, to be there and stop the things that they do great in the Hornets. So give me the Heat -5, and I love that first half as well with my guy Derl.
All right, there you go. Miami -5 against Charlotte. Best bet for Wham. Derl, what do you got? Best bet.
Hey, you Capper, you damn right, bro. I'm going straight to, it's called My House, to give me some damn Lupia. And with that, I'm going to give you Milwaukee -2.5 first quarter. I really like that play. I like Miami. I might just step on it. I'm not going to give y'all best bet with Clippers -11 because obviously that's a degenerate bet. But I'm telling y'all now, I like Milwaukee -2.5 first quarter. That should cash.
There you go. Milwaukee Bucks fear the deer in the first 12 minutes. Milwaukee -2.5 first quarter against Philadelphia for Derl with his best bet. My best bet, look, I'm a very bad 1-2 in the last 3 best bets after that 11-0 streak. So, but still 12-2 the last 14. Let's see if we can go into the break with a winner. And I'm on the same best bet as Wham. Miami -5 against Charlotte. Bet on spot, losing to Dallas. They're the better of these two teams. Charlotte's on in a free fall. The line is cheap. Miami has beaten Charlotte 3 straight times by double digits. Probably a good chance, in my opinion, they make it 4 straight by double digits tonight. Miami Heat -5 against Charlotte. Since I'm in a singing mood, must be the final show we're going to do in a week. The heat is on. It's on the street. A little Glenn Fry right there. Miami -5 against Charlotte for best bet for me on the final show before the All-Star break here with the NBA Pub Hub. And that's a wrap. Great show. Great first half of the season. We got lots more to come. We'll be back next Thursday. I don't want you guys tuning into the channel on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern asking, Ian, where's the show? I want you guys to get it straight right now. We're off till next Thursday, February 24th. That's when we're back, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be the same crew. It'll be Derl. It'll be Wham. Dutch will be back with us next Thursday. So make sure you join us for that, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Oh, and I will be with Jimmy the Bag tomorrow on Betting with the Bag. I have not been on this season yet since the football season started, but finally getting back onto the show, and we will talk college basketball and NHL with Jimmy tomorrow on Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. So it'll be fun to be a guest with Jimmy tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to the break. I'm sure Derl and Wham are as well.
Damn right.
Thanks to everybody for joining us all season so far. Every day, we've seen so many of the same names in the chat every single day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the like button on the way out. We appreciate it. For Derl and Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will talk to you again next Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Enjoy the All-Star weekend, and we'll see you again next Thursday on the NBA Pub Hub. And now we got to do it right because Dutch isn't here, so I'm going to take over here. Now, we're getting in, and we're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.